Hi, I'm Bobby Angel with Ascension Presents, and I want to talk to you today about the virtue of fortitude. So fortitude is one of the classical virtues, and we looked at faith, hope, and love as these theological virtues, so these really gifts of God. But a virtue is that excellent habit. And fortitude, from the time of the ancient Greeks, they understood like the importance of courage, of strength. But fortitude goes a little further. Like, it's not just being able to lift heavy things. It's not just being bold and brash. It's being able to withstand obstacles. And especially for the Christian, we hold fortitude up because it's the ability to withstand little and large obstacles so that I can share the gospel day in, day out. So if we look in the Catechism of the Catholic Church, paragraph number 1808 says that it's the moral virtue that ensures firmness in difficulties and constancy in the pursuit of good. It strengthens the resolve to resist temptations and to overcome obstacles in the moral life. We conquer fear. We conquer even the fear of death. Like, death, where is your sting? Death, you have no final say over me. Through inconveniences, small and large in this life, I have my eyes fixed on Christ and the life to come. So for us, day in, day out, we exhibit fortitude when there's uncomfortable, maybe conversations at work I don't want to deal with, I want to rather avoid, that I meet that challenge head on. So virtue, again, is a mean between the extremes. And so too much kind of, it looks brash. It looks like I run into battle without adequate protection. And then not enough fortitude, the lack of it, is cowardice. And no one wants to be on that side of it. So it's, again, it's knowing like also there's a time to be strong, to be bold, and to speak out for my loved ones, for strangers and the weak and the oppressed, and especially to stand and preach the gospel even in times of discomfort. A couple saintly figures we can look at who were faithful to Christ day in, day out. So when the big moments came, they held fast. They've been practicing fortitude day in, day out for when the big challenges came their way. I think of St. Maximillian Kolbe. He was a Polish Franciscan who was most notably killed in Auschwitz. He took the place of another man who was destined to die in the death camps, and in a starvation bunker. After many days, the Nazis were fed up, finally killed him with a lethal injection of carbolic acid. But it wasn't just this one moment that he stood up and decided to live for this other person and lay his life down. He'd been doing that for years and years and years, with his other Franciscan brothers, with the people of Poland, with the people of Japan, where he did missionary activity. Times of, again, brutal climate, not being able to speak the same language, of enduring hardships and persecution, even when Poland was overtaken by both the Nazis and the Russians. He still tried to preach the gospel. He still tried to get the word out. And the way he dealt lovingly with his own friars, his own brothers, the way he always embraced the vow of poverty and really lived it. He had the fortitude to live in those uncomfortable situations, so that when the big moments came, it was just a natural response to step out with courage. And I will take this man's place who is doomed to die. That's just what I've been practicing my whole life. We can also look at the example of Cardinal Nguyen van Thuan, who was a bishop of Vietnam, who was imprisoned by the communists for 13 years, and 9 of which were in solitary confinement. And how easy would it have been to throw in the towel? How easy would it have been to just say, you know what, this isn't worth it, I will obey to whatever your regime stands for. But to have the fortitude to, again, embrace these obstacles, and the little obstacles he was able to overcome in his life prepared him for the big obstacles of a long imprisonment, 9 years in solitary confinement. He had a guard that was sympathetic to him, that would bring him little pieces of bread and a little vial of wine, and he would actually celebrate Mass in the palm of his hand from memory. He would recite the prayers of the Mass from memory. So, and the Mass and God himself kept Cardinal van Thuan going in this extreme time where so many of us, again, you may be strong, you may be able to lift heavy things, but it doesn't mean you have fortitude. It doesn't mean you're courageous. It doesn't mean I'm going to undergo real discomfort for a greater good, to lay down my life for a friend. The ability to say yes to God over and over again, especially in the face of persecution. It's easy to be Christian when I can live comfortably and I'm not being daily persecuted, but when we start getting some flack because the culture's going in one way, and whether that's in face-to-face conversation and friendship, whether that's online social media, or whether that's even the risk of our own life, do we have the fortitude to endure, to be joyful, to present the truth even when the truth is going to get us persecuted? Look at Christ. Like, the truth will free people, will break chains, but it has to go through the way of the cross. And we cannot think we will somehow escape it. Somehow we'll do it better than Christ. And even in standing against certain false ideologies of the day, we have to expect like some flack. We have to expect pushback. And are we going to bow to what popular opinion is? Are we going to bow to a mob that comes after us? Or are we going to hold fast and pray for that increase in fortitude to say, listen, I don't come with any hate. I don't come with any malice. I come with love and wanting for people to be free and live in the truth. And in order to do that, we have to press forward. And that may mean my discomfort, that may mean your discomfort, but I'm not okay and you're not okay. We need Christ. We need healing. We need the freedom that God Himself, only God Himself can give, and no one else. To have the fortitude to say, no, this is important, this is worth fighting for. God, help me to stay the course. Help me to not be a coward, not be so guns blazing that I actually do more damage, but to just be firm, to anchor myself, anchor my feet in your word, Lord, so that I can be an effective witness. Let's pray for that today. Ask God to give you the grace, and He's going to send some opportunities, so don't be surprised when those come your way. Let's keep encouraging one another. Like, subscribe, add a comment of what God's doing for you in your life, because our witness, our testimonies will encourage each other. We're not in this alone. From all of us at Ascension Presents, God bless.